The Elder Scrolls 6 has officially entered the development stage, and even though there is a long time between now and its release, there is no harm in having a discussion on what we want from the game. I'm Magicka Addict, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 things I personally would love to see in the Elder Scrolls 6. If you find yourself enjoying the video, please like and subscribe as it all helps support the channel. But for now, let's get right in with number 10. Let's be honest, guys. With the release of Starfield, people have realized that procedural worlds just do not aid in exploration. The consensus is clear. People have missed the handcrafted worlds which Bethesda are known for. Procedural generation tech is still not good enough to make areas feel natural or even exciting. However, Mr. Todd Howard confirmed in a recent interview that the Elder Scrolls 6 map will be designed using procedural generation. This implies that the map could be significantly larger than Skyrim's. They will need to ensure that there are significant incentives for the player to explore this larger game world. This larger world should also be populated by varied handcrafted settlements and a lot of NPCs who would travel between settlements for work and trade. Bethesda could pull this off with improvements in procedural generation tech and AI, but as we have seen with Starfield, the procedurally generated areas that have huge empty spaces and copy-pasted locations have proved to be a disaster for exploration. Will Bethesda's ambition for a larger procedurally generated map hinder exploration in the Elder Scrolls 6? Time will tell. Skyrim introduced Radiant quests, which were meant for people who play hundreds of hours but still wanted something to do. I think Radiant quests should be kept separate and distinct from handmade quests in both design and purpose. Also, Radiant quests provide such low rewards that if you take one and complete it, it feels like a total waste of time. Either get rid of it or make some changes to it. We need to talk about essential NPCs. In Skyrim, there are too many essential NPCs who can never be killed. I'm a simple guy. I like the way it was in Morrowind. You could kill anyone, even NPCs in a main quest, and you would get this message. If you happen to kill someone in a side quest, it gives no such message and you're stuck trying to figure it out yourself. And I loved Morrowind for that. Our essential NPCs, a lazy way to ensure the developers don't have to put in the effort to implement alternate scenarios and quests? Why can't quests fail? Bethesda needs to stop taking the easy way out and offer more freedom to players. The pacing of the main quests in Oblivion and Skyrim were way too urgent. In Morrowind, your first quest giver literally orders you to go and do side quests so you can familiarize yourself with the world. Also, in Morrowind, the main plot featured ambiguous characters with motivations that went beyond good and evil. You'd read so much about Vivek and Almalexia that when you meet them in person, it actually was a momentous occasion. In Skyrim, Alduin was trying to rule the world. The lore about Alduin's past and his motivations was never shared as much. As a result, I never felt anything about Alduin. I would like Bethesda to let players do the main quest at their own pace, and let the lore do more of the talking, so you care about the characters more. One needs to just look at the declining complexity of the Elder Scrolls games over time to see this trajectory. Daggerfall and Morrowind are supremely more complex games than Oblivion and Skyrim. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, and is often just a symptom of changing or improving design trends over time. However, Bethesda should remember that so much of what players love about the Elder Scrolls is the journey, not the destination. Streamlining all the effort out of the journey to make reaching the destination easier will only kill the game. In Skyrim, you were all classes at once. This means that your character is already defined for you as someone that can do anything at any time with no limitations. When the only role in the role-playing game is being a demigod that is great at everything, you are just doing power fantasy wish fulfillment. This is fine in action games, but it's really out of place in RPGs.
Morrowind
had a more fleshed-out transport system with silt striders, mage guild teleports, mark and recall spells, intervention spells, and propylon chambers. Learning how to navigate the landscape adds another level of risk to exploration and believability. We hope Bethesda gets back lore-friendly transportation in Elder Scrolls 6. I would have loved to see shrines for the Nordic totem gods in the wilderness and the cities of Skyrim. A Nordic temple faction in Skyrim with a dedicated questline just like the Tribunal Temple in Morrowind would have been perfect. Unfortunately, Bethesda largely discarded the Nordic totem gods as described in texts such as Michael Kirkbride's The Nords' Totemic Religion in favor of the Imperial Pantheon. I just hope the Elder Scrolls 6 considers religion to be a priority wherever the game is set. I love role-playing games with meaningful choice and mutually exclusive story paths because I can play as different characters for different playthroughs. It's immersive, and it cements the role-playing aspect of the game. Being able to do everything in an RPG ruins the entire point for me. You shouldn't be able to join opposing factions in one playthrough. There should be skill checks for ranking up in factions like in Morrowind, a reputation system like in Fallout, or an expanded version of the one seen in Daggerfall would also go a long way to enhance factions in the Elder Scrolls 6. Another idea is to offer multiple joinable factions to the player. For example, if you don't like the Mages Guild, you should be able to join the Guild of Necromancers or the Levitation Guild. If you don't like the Dark Brotherhood, offer an option to join the Lawman's Guild. Ultimately, I would love to see more joinable factions with focus on writing and intelligent quest design. Mr. Todd Howard confirmed in his interview with Lex Fridman that they have moved on from the class system, where you won't have a strict character class like a warrior, a mage, or a thief. So classes are definitely not coming back. Attributes were removed from Skyrim because they got rid of Oblivion's leveling system because of the way it interacted with level scaling in the world. However, I don't think this was an optimal solution from a role-playing sense. The character creation system in Skyrim was extremely streamlined, where you just choose a race and move on. The player no longer has to make choices about their character build. I would love it if Bethesda gets back attributes, as it greatly enhances the sense that you're playing a simulation of a character you've created. In other words, character attributes greatly contribute to the overall role-playing experience. Even if Bethesda does not get back classes or attributes, I would love to see a return of a Daggerfall-style special advantages, disadvantages, or a trait system. At character creation, you'd choose stuff like health and magicka gain rates, aptitude with certain weapon types, resistance to certain elements, all at the expense of making the character level up slower. Then, negative effects like reduced magical ability in certain environments, weakness to certain elements, ineptitude with certain weapon types which offset the leveling penalty. Each character having a unique set of strengths and weaknesses is a lot more interesting than just being equally able to do anything you set your mind to. Ultimately, the community hopes character creation in the Elder Scrolls 6 offers more options that aid in role-playing. Here are some more popular requests from the Elder Scrolls community. Let's go! Mysticism is a perfectly valid school of magic. Give us this amazing school of magic and those mind-blowing spells. Reflect, absorb, silence, and dispel. Why build cities inside cells? Why not have open cities like Morrowind? That way you can get rid of loading screens, especially when your previous game is now known as a loading screen simulator. Make Alteration great again. Open cities can also enable you to get back those much-loved spells like Levitation, Mark and Recall, Jump, and Slowfall. Mages should not indulge in lowly lockpicking. Give us those open and lock spells too. If a game like Harry Potter can get you to fly on a broom, surely Elder Scrolls 6 can give us levitation. Yeah, it's time to make Alteration great again. Get back the fame-infamy system of Oblivion, and make NPCs in cities and towns to react to your reputation. It all adds to the immersion. Give us a more robust armor system. In Morrowind, you have a different armor piece for the right shoulder, left wrist, left wrist, and so on. Please bring that back. Also, medium armor. In Morrowind, most NPCs have a long list of topics you can speak with them about. This helps you to understand the world and lore better in game. Bring back the weapon and armor degradation system. Spell chance and hit chance were core tenets of Morrowind's combat. Notice how you used to fail casting a spell when you were a beginner. As you kept playing Morrowind, notice now your spells, pretty much, always worked. That's because your character has improved and mastered those skills, and you're working within the bounds of what you're able to cast. Hit chance and spell chance were removed in Oblivion and Skyrim. Now everything has massive hit point pools to make up for having to hit them 1,000 times each. Magicka can't keep up because it's a limited resource. Turn it into a blue stamina bar instead. Oh, hold on. That makes spells way too easy to cast. Let's make them cost 5x the amount instead. Oh no, that makes the spell creation system too expensive to use. It's a cascade of issues from one change. Dice rolling during combat does make sense if you think about it, and Morrowind's mechanics hold up pretty damn well in the modern era, in my opinion. Get back the marksman skill and give us thrown weapons, darts, stars, and throwing knives. Hell yeah. Give us the option to create custom spells. An option to disable map markers would be great. Design quests in such a way that the player can use their brains by speaking to NPCs or reading books to progress through quests. This adds to incredible immersion. There you have it, guys. The Elder Scrolls 6 will be here one day. It will lead to disappointment for some and enjoyment for others. But whatever happens, I hope Bethesda goes back to their roots and just gives us more. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Magicka Addict. Until next time, may the divines watch over you.